Murals de Dubrovnik in Dubrovnik, Croatia. The walls of Dubrovnik are a series of defensive stone walls surrounding the city of Dubrovnik in southern Croatia. With numerous additions and modifications throughout their history, they have been considered to be amongst the great fortification systems of the Middle Ages, as they were never breached by a hostile army during this time period. In 1979, the old city of Dubrovnik, which includes a substantial portion of the old walls of Dubrovnik, joined the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites. The oldest systems of fortifications around the town were likely wooden palisades. Today's intact city walls, constructed mainly during the 12th to 17th centuries, mostly a double line, have long been a source of pride for Dubrovnik. The walls run an uninterrupted course of approximately 1,940 meters in length, encircling most of the old city, and reach a maximum height of about 25 meters. The bulk of the existing walls and fortifications were constructed during the 14th and 15th centuries, but were continually extended and strengthened up until the 17th century. This complex structure, amongst the largest and most complete in Europe, protected the freedom and safety of a civilized and sophisticated republic that flourished in peace and prosperity for some 5 centuries. The walls were reinforced by 3 circular and 14 quadrangular towers, 5 bastions, bulwarks, 2 angular fortifications and the large St. John's Fortress. Land walls were additionally reinforced by 1 larger bastion and 9 smaller semicircular ones, like the casemate Fort Bocker, the oldest preserved fort of that kind in Europe. The moat that ran around the outside section of the city walls, which were armed by more than 120 cannons, provided superb city defense capabilities. The construction of the first limestone forts around the city began in the early Middle Ages, towards the end of the 8th century. But, the old chronicles say that some sort of castle reliably existed on the Lave Peninsula quite a long time prior to that. It is certain that the early town on Laus Island was also surrounded by defensive walls, probably mainly by wooden palisades. The fact that Dubrovnik managed to survive a 15-month-long invasion by the Saracens in the 9th century proves how well the city was fortified. The city first spread towards the uninhabited eastern part of the islet, which explains why the current name for the southeast part of the city, near St. John's Fortress, is called Pustijerna. The name Pustijerna comes from the Latin statement post terra, which means outside the town. In the 9th and 10th centuries, the defensive wall enclosed the eastern portion of the city. When the sea channel separating the city from mainland was filled with earth in the 11th century, the city merged with the settlement on land, and soon, a single wall was built around the area of the present-day city core. During this same time period, Dubrovnik and the surrounding area were described as a part of the Croatian, Gruazia, entity, in one of the works by the famous Arab geographer Muhammad al-Idrisi. In his book Nuzhat al-Mushataq fi Iqtirak al-Afaq from 1154, he mentioned Dubrovnik as the southernmost city of the country of Croatia and Dalmatia. The basic city plan dates from 1292, when the port was rebuilt following a fire. The whole city was entirely enclosed in the 13th century, except for the Dominican monastery, which came under its protection later on, during the 14th century. The city walls have been preserved to the present day, not only because of the knowledge of the skilled construction workers and the constant care provided by city dwellers that maintained and rebuilt the structures as needed, but also because of the brilliantly reputed diplomacy in Ragusa, which managed on many occasions to avoid dangerous measures taken by enemies against the Republic of Ragusa. The view from the spot where you first come out on top of the walls of Dubrovnik. The present shape of the walls was defined in the 14th century after the city gained its full independence from Venetian suzerainty, but the peak of its construction lasted from the beginning of the 15th century until the latter half of the 16th century. Being constructed very solidly, the walls were generally unaffected by a strong earthquake occurring in 1667. The largest stimulus for continued development and emergency repairs and works of the Ragusan fortresses came as a result of the danger of unexpected attack by Turkish military forces, especially after they conquered Constantinople in 1453. The city was also under latent danger of attack by the Venetians. For centuries the people of Dubrovnik were able to preserve their city republic by skillful maneuvering between east and west. A strategic treaty with Turkey protected Ragusa's liberty and maintained the opportunity for a major trading role between the Ottoman Empire and Europe. The irregular parallelogram surrounding Dubrovnik consists of 4 strong fortresses at its most significant points. To the north is the strong circular Minta Tower, and to the east side of the city port is the Revelin Fortress. The western city entrance is protected by the strong and nicely shaped Fort Bakar, and the strong, freestanding, St. Lawrence Fortress, also known as Lovrijenac, protects the western side of the city from possible land and sea assaults. The large and complex St. John Fortress is located on the southeast side of the city. Like us and join us at Extreme Collections for more fun and knowledge.